All right, today we're going to make a candy bucket about 3.5 gallons in size. So there's enough candy for the kids and the parents. Going to start off just setting your circular soul real shallow. Keep your fingers out of the way. Line your center with the edge of the bucket. And just follow it around. If you get a little snag where you started, just sand it off. You're going to sand off the loose bits and the plastic wigglies anyway. Get those all cleaned off of there real nice, and then we're gonna take a scrap piece of leather. You can use an old piece of a belt or a piece of rope. You could use any number of things for a handle, a piece of plastic, giant zip tie. We're gonna use leather and set it in with some copper rivets. Even though it's a plastic bucket, we're going to give it a little old school charm. You're just going to fold that backwards on itself and mark the other end so you get even spacing there. You can pretty much eyeball center as long as you got the spacing set right. And you can use a nail, you can use a drive punch like I'm using, you can use a plier punch, whatever to get your hole through there. And on the next step, I'm going to be using copper rivets. You can use nuts and bolts. You can use pop rivets. Okay. There's any number of things you can use that way. Right here, I'm measuring around with a flexible tape. We got 35 inches. So I'm going to mark it right at the 35. Then I'm going to mark it at 17 and a half on the other side. And that way we've got the center point. And from there, we'll just line up. I'm going about 5/8 of an inch, eyeballing 5/8 of an inch down from the rim for my first holes. Okay. And then we're just going to copy it on the other side and drill those out. Use an 1/8 inch drill bit so your rivet fits a little bit snug. I'm using a number 12 or a number 12 or a number 9 copper, I don't remember, but just a copper burr, rivet and burr. And I'm going to set those through there and place the leather over it and hammer a burr down on top, and they'll fit pretty tight like that. And after we hammer those burrs down and get that nice and tight, we're going to go ahead and clip off the excess ends. I just use one of the plates out of my standing arbor press.
Okay.
Just clip the ends right off. I like to leave about an 1/8 of an inch, maybe a hair more, and then just hammer those down real nice on a piece of steel. At this point, we've got the handle on. We got to get rid of all the advertising, acetone, and good old Bounty paper towels, and get yourself plenty of paper towels, because you'll notice the stuff will start coming off real nice and easy, and then all of a sudden it'll stop. And when it stops, it's because your paper towel's clogged up with paint. Just get you a new paper towel. They're cheap enough, and you don't need to sand anything and make the plastic rough. Paper towel's fine. When you're all done, you'll have a nice, clean, bright orange bucket with a smooth top and an even handle. Go ahead and tape that guy up with some blue tape or some green tape or whatever kind of painting tape you got, masking tape. Smooth it down real good. Go ahead and draw your face on there for your jack-o'-lantern or your cat or your devil or whatever you're going to have. And jack-o'-lantern works good with the orange bucket. I suppose you could get different color buckets and do different things with them, or do a cool cat effect or something. But I'm just going to go with a nice whimsical jack-o'-lantern. We're going to draw this guy on here, just kind of freehand it. You're going to Also cut it out with a razor knife so you can refine any lines you decide you don't like and add any that you decide you want. After we get this all drawn on, we'll go ahead and grab us a nice sharp razor knife, start cutting around the stencil, but not too hard. You just want to go through the tape. Don't cut through your bucket. If you cut in a little bit into the plastic, your paint will fill that in, but you don't want to cut all the way through the bucket unless you're actually wanting to cut all the way through the bucket and put a light effect in the back with some battery powered LED lights and cover that with a black piece of leather or another piece of black plastic or something. Go ahead and peel up your tape after you get it all cut out. Get any little bits off right now that get stuck, and peel everything up, and go ahead and make sure you get all the corners cut real nice. You don't want to start messing around trying to go too fast and then ripping half of your eyeball off or something. Just take your time, get it done correctly, and then smooth everything out for paint. Make sure you don't get grease from your fingers all over that. I'm just going to use matte black Krylon because it dries real fast and we had some. I didn't have to go buy any special fusion or any kind of plastic paint or anything. It's the Trick or Treat bucket. So we're just going to spray that up and then let it dry for a good 15 or 20 minutes after you're done painting. And then you can go ahead and start peeling off your masking tape. Be careful that if any edges are still a little loose or wet or anything, you don't ruin the paint. And here we have the finished 3-gallon Trick or Treat bucket for under $10.